I've got something. I know this is your favorite.
It is indeed. I'd like to take...
I see he came. Did you do something?
No?
You haven't been taking care of.
I have. It just got very dangerous, and I didn't want anything to happen to him. So I sent him back here, where he'd be safe.
Ah. That was kind of you.
Now I can take him again. Come here, Mutt.
What's the armor for? Are you afraid I'll jump you?
What actually happened to you in Skalitz? I mean, during the attack and... well, you know.
That's a long story. Not a very cheerful one. Are you sure you want to hear it now?
I do.
All right, then. It was a day like any other. Another ordinary day in my ordinary life. I awoke at first light, before the others. I like those kind of mornings best. When the first rays of sunshine quickly drive away the nighttime cold. Oh, hello, you. Come here. And the breeze carries the scent of dew-covered grass and the bloom of spring. Aren't you a nice boy? I wanted to get my chores done before the rest of the household was up. And this morning seemed made for that very purpose. Right, better get to work. I have to feed the hens, weed the garden, feed Tinker. I'd better get it all done before Papa is up. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this. That should do it. The garden is looking how it should again. I must bring Tinker a piece of meat. That'll be a nice treat. Heel! Look what you'll love. He'll be grumpy if I wake him. I'd better let him sleep. He'll be grumpy if I wake him. I'd better let him sleep. Here, chickie, chickie, chickie. Here you are, girls. Fill your beaks.
Last one of the mine again. Teresa! What's the matter with you today, girl? You're like a lost soul.
What do you need, Papa?
Go up and see the blacksmith. He made some nails for me. Here's some coin.
All right. Anything else while I'm at it?
No, unless you want to stop off at the market and buy some supplies. And before you go, wake Samuel. The boy's still lying in bed and won't stir. He ought to follow your example and Stibor's. You two don't have to be pushed to work. Well, at least he's still better than that good-for-nothing's Bishek. The lazy wretch. A helper like that isn't worth a damn. If it weren't for his father, God rest his soul, I'd have thrown him out on his ear long ago.
Aye, he's an idler, that one. And he'd hardly give you the time of day, never mind a kind word.
God will reward him in kind one day. Mark my words. You could tell him to get his ass to work, too.
Right, go for nails, send Samuel and Zabishek to work. If it's at all possible.
Aye, just so. Oh, and Teresa, once you've done all your chores for the day, I've a little surprise for you.
A surprise, Pa? Don't you want to tell me about it now?
Curiosity killed the cat. What kind of surprise would it be if I told you, girl?
Oh, all right. Sammy, get up. It's broad daylight and the birds are singing.
Yeah, I'm up.
Have a bite to eat before going to the mine.
All right, Ma. You don't have to treat me like a child. Looks like it'll be nice today, eh? I could go to the pond fishing.
But you have to go to work.
I know. But maybe I can slip off after lunch.
There'll be no slipping off. You know very well Nemoy has been complaining about you.
What about dropping that pail on Tonda's head? It was an accident.
Not the first accident you've had, though, was it?
Well, there you go, then. If I leave early, nothing'll happen to anyone. And you can cook the fish for lunch tomorrow.
You silly sod. All you ever do at the pond is lie around. The only thing you'll catch is more trouble from the mine master when he finds out. Well, if you're not a child, you can sort it out yourself with Nemoy.
Don't I always?
Pa says you're idle, and if you carry on like that, he'll throw you out.
Ah! Why would he do that? Then he'd be left only with Stibor, and Stibor's not going to break his back working either.
Listen, Zabishek. Pa's not happy with you, and if he says you're idling, you'd better make a bit of effort. I'm only telling you for your own good. You wouldn't want to lose your job now, would you?
You lot are always going on about work as if it was a blessing from heaven. All right. I'll get to work. Anything for a bit of peace.
That's more like it. You'll see it doesn't hurt.
But you and your ilk make only trouble. Someone ought to put paid to you, and we'd have peace at last.
Like I say, you're like a wretched sheep that will go where it's told, even to the slaughter. And of God and the world you know nothing.
When has reading ever filled anyone's belly, eh? I feed a whole family with these two hands, while yours are only good for pulling your own cock. Tell me, what use is there in this day and age for such a
Such a what?
Such a know-it-all. All you're good for is sitting in a tavern with other know-it-alls, bemoaning your station. But devil a thing do you do about it. You can't do an honest job. You're of no use to life. Too delicate to stand the smell of manure.
While the likes of you sleep in it. And I studied so I wouldn't have to do such menial labour as you. You...
What?
You shit grubber!
Better to have shit in a stable than in your head. Those books of yours are of no use in the real world of ordinary people.
And indeed they have no place there. The only use you have for paper is to wipe your arse. Books belong in the hands of your betters. Only a pitchfork belongs in yours. And tell me, what can a peasant like you know of God?
I know what the priest told me, and what do you know?
And what if the priest lies? What if the scriptures say something different? How would you know when you can only listen to what you're told like a sheep?
It's enough for ordinary people to listen, and they're fine. But you and your ilk make only trouble. Someone ought to put paid to you, and we'd have peace at last.
What are you two quarrelling about here, for the love of God?
This pipsqueak here claims studying is as hard a job as working in the stables.
I most certainly did not, because study is of course much harder work than mucking out a bit of horse manure.
See? That's what I'm talking about, and yet it's as clear as day.
Hang on, what's as clear as day?
That study is as hard as mucking out stables, if not harder.
A man who doesn't work with his hands is an idler, and a good for nothing. Am I wrong?
I'd like to ask you a couple of questions before answering. You're a scholar. What are you doing in Skalitz?
I'm on my way to Sasau with letters. This ingrate here is stabling my horse overnight before I continue my journey.
What does your work involve, student?
I'm no student, but a baccalaureus, having completed the trivium of the Faculty of Liberal Arts in the University of Prague. Grammar, rhetoric, and dialectics are my work, while this yokel wouldn't be capable even of learning Latin. Father arranged that I will serve as a teacher in Kuttenberg for 2 years before returning to the university to attend the quadrivium. To teach and be taught, that is real work.
You serve Sir Radzig at the castle, don't you, Master Groom?
Aye, and Sir Radzig is very pleased with my work. I can be rightly proud of what I do, and I bring home a nice wage too. The children are fed, and the wife can buy herself a nice scarf from time to time. I'm satisfied with my lot. How many people can say that?
What's so hard about your job, Master Groom?
That's real work. Not like this parasite here does. On my feet from dawn till dusk, feeding, mucking out, grooming. By evening, I'm dead on my feet. I'm doing something real, see? Something that makes sense. Horses are needed for work, for the lords, for riding out, even in times of war. And someone has to care for those horses. All this good-for-nothing can do is mouth off. But he'd never be able to do a real job.
That's all I need to know. You're both right, but not one of you has a grain of sense. Work is work, whether it's done with your hands or your heart.
Ah, rhetoric worthy of Socrates himself, and out of the mouth of a woman. I bow to you, good maiden. The professors of Prague could learn a thing or two from you.
Are you saying this good-for-nothing here, who has to beg for his beer at the tavern, is my equal? But to hell with it. I won't argue.
Teresa, I'm glad to see you.
Come right up, good people. Herbs for your kitchen, as well as health-giving...
Good day.
I'm wounded.
By all means.
You know what? I've changed.
As you wish.
Let's talk.
Natural.
Agree?
We're getting there.
Very well.
God's...
God be with you.
What's new with you?
Well, I went to see Pavlena's father to ask for her hand. He hummed and hawed for a bit, but in the end he gave his blessing. He didn't offer much of a dowry, but I don't care. The main thing is I can finally be with my Pavlena. We'll be wed in the summer.
That's great. I wish you happiness.
Good morning.
What's new in the village?
There's to be a dance this evening. Again. Can we not find some other way to enjoy ourselves for a change? Harvest Festival, Pentecost Festival, dances, church, and dances again.
What else would we do for fun?
I heard they have combat tournaments in Rattay sometimes. The men put on shining armour and folk can watch them battering each other. That must be lovely to watch. Why can't we have something like that once in a while? After all, Sir Radzig is the royal hetman.
But for a tournament, you need knights. We don't have enough here in Skalitz.
Ah, but Sir Hanish's tourney in Rattay is even for commoners. Even our fellas could enroll there.
Oh my god, don't say that too loud. I can just imagine how my brothers would be tripping over each other to enroll.
They wouldn't be the only ones, would they? How about that Henry? He's always waving that wooden sword around like you'd think he was getting ready to go on crusade. But there's an interesting thought now. Which of our fellas do you think would win?
Henry would win for sure. He's always practicing with that wooden sword, like you say. And besides, he's a blacksmith's son. They're always strong from hammering iron all day.
Do you think so? Don't say anything, but I think that Henry's a bit of a fool. And he doesn't overwork himself at that forge.
Anyway, enough about tourneys. I must be on my way. Take care.
How are you?
How are you getting on?
What is it, Teresa? Did your father send you? Does he need me to count his groschen for him again?
What? Father wanted you to count groschen for him?
Yes, not long ago. Quite a pile he had too. I had to write it all down for him. I never knew the mill was that profitable.
That's interesting. Bianca, how come you're up so bright and early?
Papa has me running around from dawn till dusk. You know how it is.
Indeed I do.
I'm glad you're here, Tess. You've got to help me with something. But first, can you go and see Henry for me? He's at the sheepfold by the stockade, as usual.
Oh, playing around with wooden swords again?
Aye, he's getting ready for the life of a mighty warrior.
Well, at least we know he'll be able to protect you from outlaws with wooden swords.
Oh well, boys and their games. Listen, would you bring him a beer from me?
But why don't you bring it yourself?
If Pa saw me running after Henry, he'd tan my hide. But I can't leave him dry in this heat.
All right, I'll bring the beer to him.
Thanks. And don't forget to tell him it's from me.
Everyone knows all the beer in Skalitz is from you and your pa.
You know what I mean. And listen, Tess. Once you've given him the beer, come back to me again. Meanwhile, I'll make an excuse to Pa. I need you to go somewhere with me, but I'll tell you all about it after. Run along before the beer gets warm.
God be with you, Henry. Mind you don't get hurt.
Good day, Teresa. Are you talking to me? I don't see anyone else here, so...
I brought you a beer. I'd say you'd need it after a hard battle.
Ah, great. It's as hot as Pa's Forge out here today. That's very sweet of you to get me a beer.
Actually, Bianca sent it. Her pa doesn't want her to come here.
Ah, I see. I'll make it up to her this evening.
I don't want to know how. How come you're training on your own today? You're usually here with that vagabond. What's his name?
Vanyek. And he's not a vagabond. He's a wayfaring combat master.
Well, it looks like he's off wayfaring somewhere else today.
Yeah, more likely sleeping off last night's boozing. Actually, since I've no opponent today, wouldn't you like to have a go? I mean, a bit of swordplay. I could teach you.
Me? Swordplay?
Sure. Why not?
All right then. I accept your challenge, young sir. But I must warn you, I can swat a mouse with a broom with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I knew you had the heart of a warrior. Let's go then. Come on then. Show me what you're made of. Whoever is the first to hit the other 10 times is the victor.
What if I hurt you, though?
Ah, don't worry. I can handle it.
Don't go easy on me, Hal.
Ah, very good.
Henry, really? Now that is hardly chivalrous behaviour. Now, I shall have to fight for my honour. Take that, you scoundrel! Are you alright?
It's nothing, I'm fine.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Are you mad at me?
No, of course not. It's my own stupid fault.
Well, that'll teach you to go around slapping decent, God-fearing girls on the backside. Let me have a look at it.
No, it's only a scratch and a couple of splinters. And I didn't mean to, you know.
Show me that.
No, really, it's nothing.
You know how it is, Hal. He who lives by the sword
Dies by the splinter, eh?
There now. By the way, you owe Bianca for that beer.
How are you, Teresa?
God be with you, Teresa.
Good day.
What news, neighbour?
News? Have you not heard, girl? The Empire is falling asunder under the hands of the king.
How do you mean?
King Sigismund of Hungary besieged Kuttenberg, and quite rightly too, in my opinion, because King Wenceslaus' rule is no rule at all. I am not the only one who would rather see his brother Sigismund on the throne.
Such affairs have nothing to do with the likes of me. What I care about is how much grain we have to keep the mill making a living for us. Affairs of state are the concerns of royalty and nobility.
You're quite right. A woman should not trouble her heart with political matters. You had better go back to your chores, so that you do not make your father angry, no?
How are you?
What news, neighbour?
Have you heard that King Wenceslas's half-brother Sigismund and his foreign soldiers sacked Kuttenberg? I expect he wanted to loot his brother's silver to pay for his campaign against his allies. That horde of Tartars and mercenaries he has doesn't come cheap.
I heard something about it. Were many people killed?
No. Those cowardly burghers surrendered to Sigismund without a fight and begged him for their lives on their knees in the mud.
Why would King Sigismund turn against his own brother like that?
He wants to depose him, that's why. He and those foreign lords of his think Wenceslas isn't paying enough attention to the problems of the Empire. Well, that's easy to say, but if you ask me, the whole world is going to hell. Not even the church is able to stick together, and now we have two popes? How is a person supposed to know what to believe in anymore?
What do you think will happen?
It's starting to stink like a few years ago. You were still a little girl then, so you wouldn't know, but Wenceslas had to yield to his own lords. Jobst of Moravia and his League of Lords even abducted Wenceslas and locked him up in Austria. Wenceslas's younger brother John and his cousin, Prokop of Moravia, got him released in the end.
Well, at least some of his family remained loyal to him.
Well, yes. Only John and Prokop had to make some concessions to the lords in Prague that the king didn't agree with, so they fell out with him in the end anyway. I don't reckon they'll be willing to come to his aid again.
The more I hear about politics, the less sense it makes. I must get back to work.
Here. God be with you.
What else was it you wanted from...
You brought that beer to Henry, then?
I did?
Uh-huh. And what did he say?
He said thanks. That's about it.
Huh. That's just like him. All right. But now I can tell you what I wanted. Fancy a walk in the woods?
Right now? You want to court me in the shade of the pines?
No. I need to pick herbs for distilling schnapps. Henry's favorite.
Henry's favorite? I see.
Yes. I'd like to give it to him tomorrow.
I might have known it'd be about Henry again.
Well, you know how it is, Tess. Don't worry. You'll find a fella one day.
That's easy to say when you work in a tavern where there are fellas swarming around you all day. All I see at the mill are sacks of flour.
What about Zbyszek?
Zbyszek? I'd rather settle for a sack of flour.
I suppose. Your pa would never let Zbyszek have you anyway. Not long ago, when he had a few too many, I heard him say how he was going to get you the richest husband for miles around.
Oh, Pa. I hope that was just the beer talking. What herbs do you need?
I've got almost everything, except belladonna. I know a clearing where the best plants grow.
Belladonna? But that's deadly poison.
It is, if you don't know what you're doing. But don't worry, I haven't poisoned anyone yet.
Why don't you go and pick it yourself?
Pa won't let me go on my own. They say a wolf was seen in the woods recently.
A wolf? Hereabouts?
So they say. But it was old Blaha who claimed to see it, and he's never sober. Still, I wouldn't want to go there alone.
Couldn't your brother go with you?
Adam? He'd shit himself if he saw a wolf. And besides, someone has to take care of the tavern. But he could lend us his bow. Good thinking, Tess.
Thanks? So, you're going to borrow a bow from Adam, and then you want me to go with you to pick belladonna in the woods?
Actually, it's not entirely that simple. Adam won't lend me his bow. The last time he did, I broke the string. You'll have to get it from him. Anyway, I don't know how to shoot. But Stibor taught you, didn't he?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
It doesn't matter. If the wolf sees a bow, he won't come near us. So will you go and ask Adam? You know he's always liked you. Just give him a wink and the bow is yours.
You might be able to do that with Henry, but me, well...
Come now. You're as pretty as any lass in the province. And once you've got the bow, meet me on the bridge by the lake, right?
All right, I'll help you. But next time I want something from you. I don't want to hear any excuses about how you have to see Henry.
Deal. You're an angel, Tess.
God.
Greetings.
God's bless.
What's new with...
My husband keeps complaining about a cough and a running nose. With all the moaning he does, you'd think you ought to call the gravedigger. And then, in the evening, he ups and off to the tavern. Men. They get a tickle in the throat and they think they're dying. But put a tankard of ale in front of them, all of a sudden, they're right as rain. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Huh. Have you seen that vagabond by the gate?
Who do you mean?
That stinking beggar who's always skulking around there. I swear he eyed me like a demon when I went past carrying water. There's something not right about that fella. Mark my words. The catchpole ought to send him hopping. We've no need for beggars and idle good-for-nothings in Scarlet.
You shouldn't talk about folk like that. We ought to be charitable to people in need.
Need? What he needs is to get off his lazy arse and find work.
Good solid job. You take my advice.
Good health to you, Teresa.
Good.
I've seen you in Skalitz, but I've never spoken to you before.
No, not many people talk to me.
Why is that?
Why? Because I'm a stranger here, and people would rather look after their own than strangers.
Why are you begging?
I lost everything. I had a wife, a home, children. I had cattle and sheep. Then foreign soldiers came and took it all from me. They killed and burned. Only I survived.
What soldiers do you mean?
I don't know. One soldier's the same as the next. I fled far away to this peaceful land, as far as I could from the scene of my suffering.
I'll give you something.
A few groschen.
Here you are. At least you can get yourself a bite to eat.
Oh, thanks 1,000-fold. God sees your good deed and will watch over you.
God's bless.
Good day.
I heard you're a really good archer. And that you've even got your own bow.
Yeah. I've got a bow. I made it myself. And I can hit the tree behind the tavern at 20 paces.
Good heavens, that's amazing.
would you lend me your bow for a while?
Lend my bow? To a girl? Well, I don't know, Teresa.
Hey, Adam. If you lend me a bow, I'll dance with you at the next celebration.
Oh? You would? Really? All right. Here's the bow then. And some arrows. Take it all.
Thank you so much, Adam.
May the Lord watch over you, Tess.
I've got the bow. We can get going.
Great. Come with me. Hey, Teresa, wait. There's a magpie's nest somewhere on that tree. Last time I was passing here, I saw that bird carrying something shiny to its nest. Listen. Since you've got a bow, why not try and shoot the nest down? Adam does it all the time, so I'm sure there's nothing to it.
I had a look in the nest.
Yeah? And what did you find there?
Not a thing. Just some magpie feathers.
Ah. I could have sworn that bird carried something there. Pity. Oh well. Let's keep going. I wonder what happened here. I saw it a lot. But no one reported anything in Scarlet. The road and something devoured them. Maybe a wolf?
I thought you didn't believe in the wolf.
I don't. I didn't. Better keep going. Come on. We'll turn into the woods here and go uphill a bit. Follow me. It's a sweet little garden, isn't it? I never met anyone here. But it's always well kept. Probably some witch. Who else would keep a garden in woods? It's a shame that witch doesn't grow belladonna, too. Did you hear that? We'd better keep going, all right? We're nearly there. We'll go along the road here, and then back into the woods. This is the place. I'll start picking, and you keep a lookout.
Shouldn't I help you pick herbs too?
No, I'll manage fine on my own. I'd rather you kept your eyes peeled for that wolf.
What should I do if the wolf turns up, though?
You've got a bow, right? Don't think about it. Just shoot him. Besides, you've got Tinker. Although, I'm not sure he's any match for a wolf.
How long will it take you?
Just a short while. Don't worry. But while I'm at it, I'd like to pick enough to keep me going for a while. Just keep watch, and I'll tell you when I'm done.
All right, I'll keep watch. Just make it quick.
I'd better pick as much as I can carry. I'd better pick as much as I can.
I thought those rumors about a wolf were just idle talk.
Idle talk, indeed. If I'd been alone, that beast would surely have devoured me.
Did anything happen to you?
No, I'm fine. Thank God. It's a good thing you came along.
Did you manage to pick enough herbs?
Yeah, I did. Fortunately, I'll brew plenty of that liquor. Enough for you, too, as a reward.
All right, thanks. That was a funny-looking wolf, don't you think? I reckon it was actually a wild dog.
Wolf or dog, it was a monstrous beast. Henry will never believe this.
What will you do now?
I'll go back to work at the tavern. There's been quite enough excitement for one day. Thanks for coming with me, Tess. And don't forget to come and see me tomorrow.
All right.
Of some humble service to you.
What news, neighbour? I haven't seen you here much. Where are you from?
I live at a farm beyond the village. Vincent's my name. I know you, though. You're the miller's daughter, right? Your brother helped us with the harvest one year.
Right, I remember that. It was before Samuel started working at the mines.
He's in the mines? I thought he'd be working at the mill with your father.
My older brother Stebor does that. Papa doesn't think the mill pays enough to feed us all, so he got Samuel a mining job. He said it's as good a job as any. And it ought to toughen him up a bit. The mill will go to Stebor one day, and his wife, when he finds one.
And what will happen with you?
I really don't know. I've got too much work to do today to find time to think about tomorrow.
Well, it'll catch up with you sooner or later. Good day, Teresa.
God grant...
What's new in the village, Yarmila?
Did you happen to meet that scholar who's been wandering around here since yesterday? He told me a wonderful story from olden times when Princess Libusa ruled. You've heard about Libusa, haven't you?
No. I don't know her. Who was she?
Really? I thought everyone knew that story. She was a princess of bygone days who married a plowman, and he later became king. But she was a seer too, and she had all sorts of visions. And she founded Prague.
That's interesting. What did the scholar tell you about her?
About the Maiden's War. Would you like to hear it?
Maiden's War. That sounds like a good story. Tell me about it.
Girls were different back then. In pagan times, they could live... How did he put it? Free of the yoke of marriage. They bore arms like men and waged war. And they chose their own leader. And they even dressed like men. Can you believe it?
What happened to them?
He said they were so bold that they even built their own fortress, where no man was allowed.
They really did that themselves?
Oh, aye. And when the menfolk found out, they were envious. They came together in great numbers and built their own fortress in sight of the Maiden's one.
What? Men and women lived separately in their own castles?
They did, and they waged war on each other. The men were braver, but the women often outsmarted them.
Naturally. How did it end up?
In the end, they agreed on a truce. To celebrate peace, they feasted for 3 days, and each man took away one bride.
Oh, I was expecting it to end differently.
I'd be happier too if the women won and could grab any husband they wanted.
A pretty picture indeed. Thanks for the story. It was quite inspiring. I must be going. Our fortress is still ruled by men, and they haven't learned to clean up after themselves.
Good morning.
Add some rosemary.
My humble greeting.
What news, neighbour?
I'll be off to work soon. I'm taking turns with Dushek in the East Gallery. It's a tough job there. A cramped space and only one support so far. Hard going it is. That's why Nemoy is sending us in shifts.
Why aren't you resting at home if you'll be off to the mine soon?
The wife's not well, so I'm doing what I can to lighten her load. Carrying water, picking up things at the market, peeling vegetables. You know yourself.
That's very good of you.
Well, when I'm sick, I'll send her to do my job in the mine.
No sign of the blacksmith. Where can he be?
God be with you. Do you need anything?
Father sent me to pick up nails, but there's no one at the forge.
Aye, sorry, lass. Martin had to go to the castle to talk to Sir Radzig. He's to forge a sword for his lordship.
Oh, I see. And has he made the nails for Pa?
I'm afraid he hasn't had time on account of that sword. But if you come tomorrow, he'll surely have them for you. I'll remind him this evening.
All right, I'll stop by tomorrow.
Do that, dear. Oh, and by the way, the girls were looking for you.
I talked to Bianca. Was someone else looking for me?
Aye, Johanka too. She ought to be home now, if you want to stop by and see her before you go home.
What was it about?
They didn't say, but it seemed important. Which probably means boys, I suppose, eh?
There's no harm in that, is there, good wife? You were young yourself once and went dancing with boys.
Oh, so I'm an old woman now, am I?
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I'm only teasing you, girl. Dancing is just what you young ones should be doing. Make the most of it while you can. Before you know it, your pa will find you a husband, and you'll have a pack of children to take care of.
Let's hope it's not too soon. Thanks for letting me know. I'll stop by tomorrow for those nails then.
Not at all. Oh, and another thing, Teresa. Have you seen Henry around anywhere? If he helped his father out more at the forge, there'd be no shortage of nails.
He's at the sheepfold by the stockade, learning sword fighting.
I might have known. How many times must I tell him? He ought to be learning his trade, not fooling around with swordplay. Thanks for telling me. I'll deal with him later.
God save you, Tess.
Greetings, Ted.
Johanka, what's up?
I was asking around for you. There's something we have to talk about. Are you going to the dance this evening?
I'd like to go and have a look, if I have time for it. Why? Do you want to borrow my dress?
No, nothing like that. I've got a dress, but I don't want to end up dancing on my own, if you know what I mean.
What? You want me to dance with you?
Imagine what folk would make of that. No, silly. I want Matthias to dance with me.
So, what's the problem? Just go and tell him. You've had your eye on him since the Harvest Festival. Surely you must have noticed by now.
He hasn't. I'm at a loss what to do.
So you'd like Matthias to take you to the dance, but you don't want to tell him?
That's right.
How in heaven's name do you want to do it then?
Easy. You're going to steal his lucky dice.
What? How is that supposed to help, for Christ's sake?
If you can get your hands on it without him noticing, he'll be looking everywhere for it. He'll be wandering around saying to himself, "Where did I put that damned dice?" And then I'll turn up. God be with you, Matthias. You didn't by any chance lose your dice? And he'll say,
"Aye, Johanka, I did. Where on earth did you find it?"
"Oh, I found it near the tavern. You know there's going to be a dance there this evening." And then he'll finally get the message.
"Oh, the dance. Yes. Johanka, wouldn't you like to go with me?"
Of course. I'd love to go with you, Matthias. Thank you for asking. Then he'll take me by the hand, and he'll look... Never mind that. Well, that's how it's going to help. More or less.
You painted a very pretty picture, no doubt. But do you think it'll really work?
I'm absolutely sure it will.
Why don't you just steal the dice yourself?
And if he caught me doing it? You think he'd go dancing with me then? Except maybe to the bailiff. But you... Well, you're a miller's daughter and... Well, you know what they say.
Right. We're all a pack of thieves. I might have known. All right, then. I'll help you.
Thank you, Tess. Bring the dice to me as soon as you have it.
Hang on, though. How am I supposed to find it?
He was saying at the tavern yesterday that he keeps it in his trunk when he's not going to play. Go and see Fritz first. I heard he's always got some lockpicks, whatever he wants them for. Anyway, no doubt he can show you how to use one.
Me? Pick locks? Johanka, aren't you going a bit too far?
Well, then, maybe you can get hold of his key somehow. But whatever you do, don't get caught. And not a word to Matthias, for the love of God.
God be with you.
God grant you health.
What's new, Fritz?
I don't know. Oh, actually, I do know. There's going to be a dance this evening. Are you going?
Maybe. I've got a lot to do still.
They say it's going to carry on tomorrow too. And they'll be roasting a pig. Can't miss that.
So I heard. I wonder how come Sir Radzig allowed it.
No, it wasn't his lordship's idea. It was Master Faithfar's.
Master Tobias? Why would he do that?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to show off his wealth. I'd have roast pig and dancing every evening if I had his coin.
Listen, Fritz, I hear you know something about opening locks without a key.
Sure. All you have to do is charge at the door, shoulder first.
I don't want to break down a door. I want to pick a lock.
Ah, you want a lockpick then?
Shh, not so loud.
Well, I can give you some. But you know what they say. Not even a pig grunts for free.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Who says that?
Mostly me. And everyone thinks it's fucking clever, so bugger off.
I need a couple of lockpicks. Will you teach me how to pick a lock?
Sure, for a few gross. It's easy as fuck. You've got to find a spot where the lock catches and press on it. And only then can you turn it. Nice and light, though. No jerky movements. Like when you're caressing a girl's... that is,
I get it. Thanks.
My humble greetings.
How are things, Matthew?
Teresa? It's unusual to see you here. Come to see the eighth wonder of the world, have you?
What would that be now?
Fritz, working. Well, that's a sight you don't see every day.
I'd say that's the pot calling the kettle black. You don't look too busy yourself.
Why overdo it? Jesus was a carpenter too, but how many beams do you think he made, eh?
Matthew, that's blasphemy.
No, it's only a harmless joke. You don't have to look at me like the parish priest did at Kunesh, when he spewed over his pew.
Ugh, don't even remind me. Well, I'd better be going. Work to do, you know.
Don't overdo it now.
Come right up, good people.
Good health.
How are you?
Tell me, Matthias, what do you think of your hunker?
Johanka? Yeah, she's a nice girl. She helped the lads and me out of a few scrapes. Actually, she's always been good to us. Why do you ask?
Your hunker's a very nice girl, all right. Haven't you noticed maybe she's nice to you more than the others?
Me? How do you mean?
She's shy. You know how it is.
You mean... she likes me?
Supposing you were to ask her to the dance this evening.
Really? You think she'd go with me? Well, I suppose I could, but... Wait, though. Maybe I should have a bit of a wash first. What do you think?
Don't beat around the bush. Just go and ask her. There's nothing to it.
Oh, all right. I'll try it.
Sore knees, backache, bellyache.
Mother of God.
About Matthias.
Yes?
I had a chat with Matthias and told him everything.
What? Oh my God! You traitor!
But he said he'd be happy to dance with you.
I can't believe you'd... Wait, what did you say?
I said he'd be very happy to dance with you.
Just like that?
What more do you want, an offer of marriage? He'll come to you and invite you. That's all.
He's coming here! Oh my God, I have to get ready. Thanks, Tess. Thank you.
going on about it? What's it got to do with me? I keep telling you, I don't know nothing about any silver. I'm a miller. Flour is what I know about. If someone's stealing silver from the mines, why don't you talk to the mintmaster about it?
Well, we did. He was the one that brought it up.
It's our job to ask everyone who lives nearby if they saw anything suspicious.
Then good luck with that. Because in case you haven't noticed, everyone around here lives near the mines.
Aye, but some live closer than others. And there's also the fact that... how to put it?
We're asking you because, well, you're a miller, right?
Oh, I see. Since I'm a miller, I must be a crook. Is that it?
No, but you know what they say.
Aye, they say you lot can hardly find your own asses. Never mind a thief. You're keeping me from my work, young fellas. So if we're done here, farewell and good luck.
All right, Miller. If you should happen to hear anything, let us know. How are you?
I went for those nails, but the blacksmith is with Sir Radzig today.
All right, leave it till tomorrow then. No hurry. Right now, I need something else. Quick.
What's up?
The guards were here asking around. They said someone's been stealing silver from the mines. Can you go and tell Stibor? He went to check the fish trap below the bridge.
Why? What has Stibor got to do with stolen silver?
Look, just talk to him about it, all right?
But I'm asking you, Father. Don't tell me you don't trust your own daughter.
Well, if you really must know... Yes, the silver is ours. It's just a way of making a bit on the side, which I came up with when Samuel was born.
What? Are you mad?
Look, you and Stibor were just little, and when your ma died shortly after Samuel was born, I wanted you to have something to fall back on if anything happened to me, so you wouldn't be reduced to beggary, see?
Why didn't you tell me about it? Don't you trust me?
No, it's not that. I didn't tell anyone at first. But then Stibor saw me with a sack of silver, and when he asked me straight out about it, well, I didn't want to lie to him, and I didn't want you and Samuel to know about it. The less people know about it, the less chance someone might let something slip. Besides, I didn't want to put you in harm's way.
Samuel works in the mine, Pa. If you get caught, he'll be blamed too.
As long as no one knows nothing, we've nothing to worry about. That goes for Samuel too, Teresa. Don't tell him anything.
So, the talk about dishonest millers isn't just idle gossip. You and Stibor are stealing silver from the king's mines? Father, they burn people at the stake for that.
Oh, it won't come to that. The king won't miss a few sacks of silver, but it will save us from poverty. Surely you can understand that.
The king's silver? All right, I'll go and tell Stibor.
Oh, good lass, thanks. And hurry. The guards might come to the mine any time, and then it'll be too late to do anything.
Pa sent me. The guards were here asking about silver going missing from the mines.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right. All right. Listen, Tess. I need your help.
Not so fast. First, tell me what the hell is going on.
All right. Look. How can I put it?
There's no point in beating around the bush. Pa already told me plenty.
Thank God. So you'll help me?
Sweet Jesus.
You fellas haven't the sense you were born with. But family is family.
Thanks, Tess. I'm sorry to drag you into it, but I can't manage it on my own.
Where did you hide it?
That's the thing. It's at the bottom of a flooded shaft. Samuel was working there before.
You dragged Samuel into it too?
No. Samuel knows nothing about it.
So why don't you just go and get it?
I don't know how to get to it.
For heaven's sake, Stibor! Do you know where it is or not?
Yes, but you see, when I was carrying it out, they stopped me. I was standing on this wooden walkway and I dropped it over the edge so they wouldn't catch me with it. And now I don't know how to get to it. All I know is it made a splash when it fell.
And how are we supposed to find it? Go crawling through the whole mine?
No, I've got an idea. Samuel knows that area. He'll know how to get to the shaft.
Oh no, Stibor, forget it. You're not going to drag Samuel into your dangerous games.
Christ, no. What do you take me for? All he has to do is draw a map, and we'll do the rest.
Wait. How did you get mixed up in this?
Not long ago, I saw Pa hauling a sack of silver ore. I kept asking about it, and in the end he had to tell me what was going on.
God almighty, the king's silver? If you have to steal, couldn't you take something that wouldn't cost you your lives as well as your souls?
Around here? Like what? Cabbages?
Why are you doing it? You're not going to mint your own coin, surely?
Of course not. We just sell it to someone, but Pa deals with that. I don't know much about it.
Why are you helping him?
Well, he always gives me some of the money he makes from it.
Money won't be much use to either of you on the pyre. Where do you take the silver?
Pa takes care of that. Someone comes to pick it up.
Who does?
Some slimy kind of fella. I don't know what his name is. He serves some lord, but I don't even think Pa knows who that is.
That's all I want to know. Are you sure it's the same shaft where Samuel was working?
Definitely. There's no other flooded shaft in the mine. Remember when everyone was talking about how they hit a spring and had to abandon it?
All right, Stibor. Have you got something I can give him to draw it with?
Here. Give him this. And try to get it from him without giving the game away. Otherwise Pa will have a fit if he finds out.
I'll do what I can. Where is Sammy now?
Where do you think? I saw him heading for the fish pond as usual to avoid work. Once you have it, come and meet me at Wenceslas Corridor on the hill. I'll be waiting there.
And for your life.
I don't know you, unless my memory deceives me. Where are you from, and what are you doing here?
Have you not noticed? I'm saving lives. I came from far away Sasau to avert great misfortune.
My God, what misfortune?
All the misfortune of the world, my dear. For misfortune walks not over mountains, but over men. I have artifacts that will avert mine cave-ins, swarms of locusts, bloody rain, and flaming swords. Not to mention, say, unhappy love, perhaps.
Do they really work?
Have you ever seen bloody rain?
No, I haven't.
There, you see. I have remedies for all woes, and an answer for everything.
Maybe that kind of talk might invoke those woes.
Have you ever heard it said that no one can be a prophet in his own land?
Yes. What's that got to do with anything?
Well, here am I, far from my own land.
What are these peculiar goods you're selling here?
Things that bring good luck. Or bad, if that's what's needed. What are you after? No, wait, don't tell me. I know just what your heart desires. I have here an amulet that will ensure your safety and your whole family's forever. Girls like you are always keen to have one.
Really? An amulet can do that?
Most assuredly. But unfortunately I just sold the last one. However, I do have something even better.
What is it?
A map. Have you heard of the Scarlet's treasure?
Scarlet's treasure? No.
My dear child, you ought to ask your parents about it. Everyone knows about the Scarlet's treasure. But no one knows that I have a map to it.
Then why don't you dig it up yourself?
Me? A spiritual man? Please, I have no interest in worldly wealth. But you can have it for only a few groschen.
If it leads to treasure, as you...
Here you have it. Happy hunting. The latest magical artifacts, amulets, and... Hear ye! Relics of the rarest kind!
God grant you health.
So, are they biting?
Well, so far, no. But there's still plenty of time before evening.
Why aren't you at work?
I was given some time off.
Time off? How come?
I smashed my foot with the pickaxe.
Harry, mother of God! Are you all right?
I'm fine. It was just a pretense. I needed a break.
Really, Sammy? One day you'll really get hurt, and then no one will believe you. Sammy, I need something from you.
Oh, Tess, I just got ready for fishing.
Don't worry. You don't have to go anywhere. Remember that mine shaft where you used to work before it got flooded?
Yeah, it was a deep one. We went down that morning, and we were up to our knees in water. Master Fayfar said that always happens when you dig deeper than the drainage had it. We dug a well to slow it down, but even that wasn't enough.
Do you think you could draw me a map of the way there?
Why? What on earth would you want that for?
Stibor dropped something there.
Drop something? What?
Never mind. You really don't want to know.
For Christ's sake, what the hell are you mixed up in now? Oh, well, whatever. Show me that, I'll draw you a map.
Thanks. That will help me a lot.